Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another session of the Indica Veda Ecology series. Joining us this evening, as usual, is Dr. Nagaraj Paturi and Shantala Sriramaiah ji. So before we start the session, let's just talk a little bit about Dr. Nagaraj Paturi and Shantala ji. So Dr. Nagaraj Paturi is trained in Sanskrit and Advaita Vedanta, and he is committed to the transmission of Vedic sciences. He has designed several courses pertaining to the contemporary application of Vedic sciences, and he has been successfully teaching them and also getting them taught. He is a visiting professor at the University of Chicago and is also a senior director and the chief curator at Indica. He is an executive committee member at the MIT School of Vedic Sciences in Pune, and in addition, he has authored several articles for the media and delivered several series of talks for radio and television. Also joining us is the founder of Veda Studies, Shantala Sriramaiah ji. Shantala ji has been studying Veda recitation with the well-known Chalikere brothers, Guruji Srinivas in particular. And in this session, Shantala ji will be reciting the Veda and Dr. Paturi will be elaborating on the Veda. And today we will be highlighting the Mantrapushpam, which is a beautiful prayer from the Taittiriya Aranyaka that connects our existence and our true essence with all the natural elements and celestial beings. So as I said, Dr. Paturi will be elaborating on the mantra and Shantala ji will be reciting it. Dr. Paturi, Shantala ji, can you join the session, please? Namaste. Namaste, Shantala ji.
Namaste, Sophia.
So I'm going to hand over the session to both of you, and I will see you towards the end of the session for the closing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sophia. Nagaraji, it's wonderful to be back here with you to learn and to experience the profound meaning of this mantra, which I think, at least for my student community, it has not been explained clearly before. You know, what the commentaries that we read, we don't find a relatable explanation. So I'm really looking forward to this today. With your permission, I can start with the recitation of the Mantrapushpam.
Sure, please.
I'll begin with our invocation mantras, followed by Mantrapushpam. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Ganana-antva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam-upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvannutibhissidasadanam Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinamavitriyavatu Ano Divo Brihataf Parvatada Saraswati Ajatagantu Yajnam Havan Devi Jujushana Ghritaji Shagman No Vachamushati Shrunotu Vagdevyai Namaha. Om Yopam Pushpam Veda Pushpavan Prajavan Pashuman Bhavati Chandramava Apam Pushpam Pushpavan Prajavan Pashuman Bhavati Ya evam Veda Yopamayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Agnirva Apamayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Yo Ognirayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Apova Agnirayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Ya evam Veda Yopamayatanam Veda आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायुरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायुरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः ॐ शान्तिः 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 Shall I repeat the first passage before
Yes,
your
sure.
introduction,
Yeah,
Nagaraj?
yeah. No, I'll first give an introductory part, and then you may start with the verses. Let me just start by saying that the word Mantrapushpam doesn't tell you that this is a celebration of water. One of the very important aspects of nature, ecology. In fact, this whole mantra is a celebration of enjoyment of embodied experience of water. And some of the beauties of this mantra from the recitation and listening beauty aesthetic aspects is that unlike many other mantras, this has got a refrain. There is a refrain of Yopam ayatanam Veda ayatanavan bhavati. This line gets repeated in this. And that's found in songs for us, so it sounds like a song. Usually, there is a tendency of looking at all the Veda mantras as songs only, poetry only, and the mantra drashta brahmarshis as poets of these mantras. But in this particular mantra, that song nature comes out very clearly because of this refrain getting repeated. And after listening to this for some time, almost every listener would get this by heart. They say Opam ayatanam Veda ayatanavan bhavati part, because it gets repeated so much in the mantra. And it is here that you have this water centrality of the mantra. Yo apam ayatanam Veda ayatanavan bhavati is what it is saying. Apam, up is water. Apam means the accusative case grammatically of water. So, yo apam ayatanam Veda means Veda. That's another interesting aspect of this mantra. Usually we call all these mantras as part of Veda, as Veda itself and all that. But in fact, the word Veda is being used as a verb here. So, yo apam ayatanam Veda, one who knows Veda, knows water as ayatanam, source or location or place to dwell. So, yo apam ayatanam Veda, this refrain line is saying that one who knows water as the source of everything, ayatanavan bhavati, he gets the source for his own existence. He gets the location or dwelling place for his own existence or for his own living. So, unless you know water, you can't exist. No water, you can exist, is what is getting repeated in the refrain of this mantra. So the whole mantra is all about that. Water is the source of this. If you understand that, then you yourself can get a source for yourself. Is the whole repetitive refrain in the mantra. So let us see how that musical celebration of water happens in this. Most of you might have visited water bodies, a huge lake, a huge river, a big ocean, and there is some beautiful experience, ecstatic experience any human gets when that human looks at this huge water bodies. Water, 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 rain, water. So some connection from inside, as if we are water separated from that water, and we want to get into that water, become water, one with the water. So that experience of, just imagine somebody imagining water, staying in front of water, celebrating water, saying, oh, water, you are so lovable for me. I love you. So water, I love you is the whole mood in the mantra. So let us see how this Veda mantra is saying, water, I love you. I love you so much. Okay, now please start.
Beautiful, beautiful introduction, Nagaraji. I'll recite the first passage. Om Yopam Pushpam Veda पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पम् पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति योऽग्निरायतनं वेद.
In fact, the first mantra is talking about the word flowers, pushpa. Probably that is the reason people gave this mantra the name mantra pushpa. The first mantra is saying, one who understands the flowers of water. Flowers as a metaphor, we all understand. This is a flower of this is a fruit of this, we understand. So if you understand the benefits of water, is what it is saying, flowers of water, he becomes the possessor of flowers. He gets flowers because water is the one which is giving you flowers. And he gets progeny, offsprings, children, because water is the cause of progeny for you. And he gets cattle because cattle is what you want. So uh, how water is the source of flowers, how water is the source of progeny, and how water is the source of cattle, all who understand how water is sustaining the bottom of the food chain, the greenery, and how water is required for every form of life, people understand how water is the source of everything. And when they imagine this, yes, I get flowers, I get progeny, I get cattle, I get everything from water only. And the mantra, the first mantra is also talking about Chandrama, moon. And it is saying, you look at moon, he is the flower of water. He is the consequence of water. He is the benefit from water. And actually, the moon's coolness and the cool weather he gives during the night is imagined to be coming from the watery, cool, water-like, cool water-like experience coming from water. That is why actually moon is even imagined to be a watery planet, experienced to be a watery planet. So, oh, what moon itself, that coolness of moon itself is the benefit coming from the water's watery nature is what is being mentioned in that mantra. And there is the second mantra, which is already recited in the recitation. It is going to fire. It goes to the fire section of the mantra. Now we let us have a look at the fire part. It is saying fire is the source of water. Fire actually is creating water in nature. From here, we are going actually into a deeper ecology, deeper connections in nature. Nowadays, it is fashionable to use the word deep ecology in ecological studies. So there we are able to see how fire in the form of entropy inside every material, inner heat content of materials, and also fire in the form of fire that is being used in nature is actually participating in water cycle in nature. It is evaporating water, and at a certain level of temperature, it is bringing down water from clouds. It is the one which is forming clouds. So that is why fire is the source. Heat energy, the radiance is the source of water, is what it is saying. And then it is saying that water is also the source of fire. There is a cyclic connection between water and fire. Fire comes out of water. Actually, during certain oceanic activities, uh, fire comes out of ocean. Vedic literature has a description of Badabagni. Badaba Agni is the fire inside the oceans, and the lightning that comes from clouds during rainy season is also seen as the fire coming out of the waters in the cloud. So this fire coming out of water is also enjoyed and celebrated, and it is said that actually water is the source of fire, while fire is the source of water also. This cyclic connection between fire and water is discussed here. There are n number of mantras on fire itself as the source of everything in ecology. But here, because the center is water, we are talking about water being center of everything. We are the celebration is in the mantra is connecting actually fire and water cyclically in this particular mantra.
I'll recite the next passage. And here it's again, the way the passages are arranged, from the text we are using, it unfolds Agni and then continues into Vayu. So each passage is sort of beginning and unfolding and starting a new element. So I'll do the second, and perhaps you can explain this as well, Nagaraji. I've
Yeah,
always
sure.
wondered why the passages are arranged in this way. It's beautiful, but I'd like to hear from you on why it's arranged this way as well. So the next passage. Ayatanavan bhavati apo va agneerayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati vayurva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति.
Yeah, this mantra is actually connecting fire to air, and it's not actually air. Vayu in Vedic understanding is much deeper than just air or wind or something like that. Yeah, we just for an easy imagination, we can say it is air. And this air is being viewed here in this mantra as the source of water. Among the so-called 5 elements, here Vayu, the air, is being viewed as the source of water. And when you see that water is the source of air and air is also the source of water, the cyclic relation between air and water is being enjoyed and celebrated in this particular mantra. And gradually we see that all the elements, fire, air, etc., are getting connected to each other. So we started with flowers and flowering, and then we went to fire, and from fire we are moving into air, and we are seeing how water is the center, and from water to fire, fire to water, then from air to water, water to air. We are enjoying all the connections of different forms of nature, different elements of nature with each other. And every time we are saying air is the source of you, but air is the source of water also. Water is the source of you, but water has air as its source. So if you understand this source nature of air and water, source nature of water for air, source nature of air for water, and source nature of all these for you, then you will get source and you exist. Your existence is secure, your existence is established. When you understand the source nature of all these things among themselves and for you.
आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम्.
This is taking us to sun. And here it is not stopping with just the word sun as one of the elements of nature. It is going to tapannapam. It is talking about tapan, that is scorching, who is burning. So it is talking about burning sun, the scorching sun. And it is saying that it is this scorching sun, the burning sun, which is source of water, and water is the source of that scorching sun. Also, there is a cyclic connection between the sun and the water, and they are your source. Sun is your source. Sun is your source because sun is the one who is giving greenery at the bottom of the food chain, and all the greenery is getting generated from sun. And there are celebrations of sun separately in other Veda mantras, in the form of Savitri Devata, in the form of Aditya. And there it is, in that mantra, sun is the center. But here it is, water is the center in this mantra. So we are saying that even for that sun, which many mantras celebrate as the center of every aspect of nature, this sun is the source of that, and sun is your source, and water is the source of sun, and you are the source of water and sun. There is a cyclic connection between the scorching sun and water. For us to imagine and celebrate, we always understand that in Bhagavad Gita also there is a shloka which says that Ravi is the one who is taking the rasas, the waters, by heating it, evaporating it, and forming clouds. And it is Ravi with a different temperature who uh, sends out that water from the clouds as rain. So this sun's temperature connection with the water, already in nature we observe and enjoy and celebrate it. And water, being the source of sun, is a deep ecology connection. And how water gets connected to the heat in sun is through deep ecology understood how there is a connection. So all that is imagined and experienced and celebrated beautifully. Even when we look at the scorching sun, we look at that and say, oh, you are from the water, and you are the source of water. And I get source, I get my establishment, I get my dwelling only when I understand, O sun and O water, and water as the source of everything in this cyclic connection between sun and water.
आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति.
So now from scorching sun, burning sun, we are moving to moon. And moon has already come in the first mantra itself while talking about flowers and flowery relation. And we are again celebrating the connection of water with moon and moon with water. and both of them being source of each other, and we getting source from the moon's coolness and cool radiance and water and the connection between the two and their connection with us. Actually, Purusha Sukta gives the connection between moon and the mind. And uh, actually, astronomically and astrologically, mind is believed to be connected to moon. And uh, in the Vedic worldview, the ancestral spirits are also believed to be existing in moon. And as per Yaska's Nirukta, the Veda mantras and the entities in them have different levels of existence: Adi Bhautika existence, Adi Daivika existence, Adi Yajna existence, and Adi Adhyatmika existence. So, moon uh, actually has an Adhyatmika and also Adi Daivika relationship with the mind. So, even in that way, an individual self is connected through mind to moon, and moon is connected to the mind, and both these are connected with the cool experience that we get out of observing water and enjoying water, getting identified with water, and getting completely absorbed into water and absorbing water into us. And that gives a cool experience in mind and nourishes mind in its mental wellness.
य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद.
The mantra is taking us from moon to stars. And those who observe night sky, they have this beautiful experience of the friendship between moon and the stars, and also the experience of celebrating the beauty of the night sky itself, decorated by the stars, and the experience of the beauty and aesthetic of the night sky is enhanced because of getting decked by innumerable stars all over, and all of them, because that is the cool time of our experience, the night time, they are all look like small, small, cool objects, and there is an experience of that cool, twinkling beauty from the stars. And this deep ecology connection between water and all the stars in the sky, that is getting celebrated here. And the mantra is saying even the stars in the sky are actually connected with water. If there is no water, uh, we can't even see the stars in the sky. And watery experience of the stars also, water like cool experience from the stars also, is actually a result of water that we have. So the experience of stars, human connection to the stars, human experience of the stars is connected to the watery experience and experience of water. So that way, the star experience and water are mutually connected. We are talking about the star experience, star aesthetics of the night sky, and the connection of water with the star experience of the night sky here. Cyclic relationship of those two and our own cyclic relationship with those two is what is being talked about. And we are saying, oh, water, without you, I don't get this star experience, cool star night sky aesthetic experience. Without you, your watery experience, cool experience, I can't enjoy. the night sky's cool experience. So only when I enjoy and celebrate you, I get experience and I get established in this world and in myself, in my own inner self, I can establish myself for through meditation is what this mantra is saying.
योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद.
Now from stars we are moving to clouds, and those who enjoy nature, celebrate nature, enjoy the aesthetics of nature, and get identified with the nature, absorb into nature and absorb nature into themselves, have this experience of enjoying clouds also. Clouds is another beautiful aspect of nature, and connection of water with clouds need not be explained at all, because actually clouds are water in the form of a skyey form of water itself, vapor form of clouds as water itself. So there, the cyclic connection between cloud as an element of nature and water as the central element of nature is being discussed, and our connection with clouds and connection of water and clouds with each other is being celebrated. And we are saying, oh clouds, oh, you are the source of water, and oh water, you are the source of clouds, and both water and clouds, you are my own source, and only when I enjoy your connection, clouds with water and water with clouds, and both of you as the source of everything in nature, then only I'll be able to get established in this world and also in myself, in my own inner self, is the celebrating expression of this mantra.
आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति.
This is the peak of the beauty of this mantra, because it is taking us to a wonderful word and concept called samvatsara. Some of the commentators translated the word samvatsara as a rainy season, the Varsha Rutu. But actually, if you read commentaries of from all the great scholars and rishis, you would understand that Samvatsara itself is a beautiful, important concept of Veda mantras, because as rainy season, it is a periodic season enjoyed by uh, all those who enjoy nature. So if you translate Samvatsara as rainy season also, its beautiful connection with water is enjoyed. But if you look at the commentators of different strands, you would understand that in a daily Sanskrit, Samvatsara is the word for year of 12 months and all its waxing and waning moon shades. But if you look at what actually a year means, it is actually the cyclic movement. So it is not limited to rainy season alone. It is the cyclic nature of all the seasons. As per the Vedic tradition, the seasons are six, and all the six seasons are getting repeated. So that seasonal nature of time itself, what is being celebrated here, what is being enjoyed, absorbed, and experienced here is the periodicity, the cyclic nature. This is the unique aspect of Vedic worldview, the cyclic nature of time, in contrast to the linear nature of time in other worldviews. So that cyclic nature of time and time as a cyclic entity is samvatsara. So samvatsara is taken as a deity. It is taken as a divine entity, and worshipping samvatsara itself, worshipping cyclicity, worshipping cyclic nature of seasons, worshipping cyclic nature of year itself is a beautiful concept. It's a great concept. And water is being mentioned as the source of this cyclic nature of time. And that cyclic nature of time is being viewed as the source of water getting cyclic. We have been talking in all the mantras about cyclic connection of water with moon, cyclic nature connection of water with fire, cyclic nature of connection between water and air, everywhere that cyclic nature. So that cyclicity, cyclic connection is this final mantra, which is also talking about the cyclicity itself as samvatsara, and it is taking that as deity and the beauty of the cyclic nature of ecology. And the most important keyword of contemporary ecological understanding is also ecocycle. It is a cyclic nature of ecology that is being celebrated, that is being taken as a key, that is being taken as the most vital, pivotal concept of ecology. And it is the cyclic nature which is being celebrated and enjoyed and experienced, and human is getting identified with it and absorbing it into itself through saying that you are my source of cyclicity, samvatsara. You are my source, the cyclic nature of time. You are my source, the cyclic nature of nature. Uh, that is the beauty of this pinnacle of the mantras.
राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः.
Actually, this is technically not a part of Mantrapushpam, but is a recitational appendage to the recitation of chanting. While chanting Mantrapushpam, this mantra is added as an essential appendage to it. And to understand this mantra, we need a greater, deeper understanding of the idea of divinity. The word has this Rajadhiraja. Apparently, from our worldly understanding of worldly Sanskrit, Laukika Samskrita, we understand that word as King of Kings. But actually, the word Raja comes from the root dhatu in Sanskrit, Ranj. So it is actually talking about the radiant aspect of divine entities. In Sanskrit, the word Div, Devatas or Devis or whatever, we have the word root Div in it. And the Ranj in it, Ranj in the word Rajan, also is connected to this div, the radiance. So Raja, Adhiraja. Adhi is actually, we look at the word Rajadhiraja as king of kings, as a king having power over the other kings. There, the word Adhi is taken in that sense in a worldly way. But the word Adhi has the meaning of the one which is located in the other. So the Divyatva, the divinity, the radiance which is located in the other divinities is Rajadhiraja here. So we are talking about the common divinity in all the divine entities. So this is a pantheistic view, to use a contemporary word. It is a pantheism. It is pantheistic view of looking for divinity in every divine entity. All that is there in nature has divinity in it. Adi Bhautika Bhutas have divinity in it, Adi Daivika in it, and that divinity has a common divine entity in all of it. So that pantheistic, all-pervading divine entity is Raja Adhiraja being mentioned here. And once we understand this divinity of all divinities, then we get success. What we are saying is that Prasanya Sahine, you are the giver of all victories, because if I understand the divinity of all the natural things, then we get success. And once we understand the divinity of all the natural elements, all our Kama Ishvara, he is the fulfiller of all desires, all my desires. So then you are the Kameshvara, you are the controller of my desires, and you are fulfiller of my desires also. And this Vaishravana is Kubera. Actually, in general, the god Kubera in a very worldly way is looked at as the Dikpalaka of the northern direction among directions. And he is considered to be the godhead of Yakshaloka, and he is also viewed as a Yaksha. And he is viewed as a friend of Shiva, the Dikpalaka of Ishanya, and also the devolving one among the Trimurtis, Paramatman. And that Shiva's friend is Kubera is one way of looking at Kubera. But here, in this particular mantra, because it is not Pauranika, it is not looking at Kubera as that friend of Shiva and as the head of North or any such thing. The word Kubera here is being used as a synonym for Paramatman, for Bhagavan, for the pantheistic, all-pervading view of the divine entity in all the divine entities which are there in all the aspects of nature. That is why this comes as the pinnacle recitation in the Mantrapushpa, because we are looking at water as the source of everything. When we connect this to that, we are looking at water itself as the Paramatman, that is the divine of all the divines, divine pervading all the divines. So in that sense of divine pervading all the divines, we are using the word Rajadhi Raja, the radiance in all the radiant entities. And oh water, you are the radiance in all the radiant entities, is what we are saying. And we are getting absorbed into water, and we are absorbing water as the Paramatman, the Bhagavan, the ultimate entity into which we should absorb, and we absorb that into ourselves in our deeper meditation. Once we understand that, we get our source and we get established in the world and in ourselves.
Nagaraji, I had one question. In terms of, in the popular tradition, often this is recited at the very end of rituals, at the very end, and also while doing arti, for example, but usually always at the end of ceremonies. It's like the final, thing recited. Could you just elaborate a little bit on why this tradition does this?
Actually, though the word Pushpa is in the first mantra, that is why this is called Mantrapushpam, and usually people understand this to be the mantra for offering flowers in front of the Murti, the idol of the deity. So people, because flowers are given in their hands, And at the end of this recitation of Mantrapushpam, at the end of the puja, all the flowers in their hands are offered at the feet of the deity. They understand that, oh, this is a mantra for pushpas, mantra for flowers. That is why actually, oh, flowers are in my hand and I am offering flowers to the deity. That's one very simple and top level understanding of this. But when people understand this to be a mantra about water and water centricity of nature, water centricity of ecology and ecological cycle, then they realize that throughout the ritual they have been using water. At every step, they were using water for purification. In the very beginning, they used water to purify themselves. Uh, and there are mantras which are used for the kalasha. There is water inside, and water of all the rivers is imagined to be coming into the kalasha. And there is a prana pratishtha done into the kalasha, into the waters only, and that water is being used at every step for achamana, and at every step for pranayama, and at every step water is being used for purifying the tools of the worship, tools of the puja, the material of the puja, and water is used to do abhisheka for the murti of the deity, and water is getting everywhere. The whole thing is actually happening through water, pure water, purity of water, and the divinity coming from water into the ritual. So, Mantra Pushpam is actually celebrating and thanking water for divining the whole celebration, for giving divinity to the whole celebration. And the very first mantra is saying flower, it is using as a benefit. So every worshipper looks for the benefit of puja at the end of the puja. So mantra pushpa is not the pushpa in our hands, it is the benefit of the puja. And we are saying that that benefit, oh water, you are giving us the whole benefit. We thank you. We thank you for making everything around us in the puja divine. And though we actually look at fire in all the many mantras of Veda as the medium through which our messages go to the divine entities of nature, here we are thanking water for making that message through fire to the divine entities possible because of making everything pure and clean, and all the effect of puja is coming from the water used in the puja. So that thankfulness to water is what is being expressed at the end of this mantra. And pushpas, the flowers there, are also metaphorically viewed as the benefit of the puja that is performed. That is why mantra pushpa comes at the end of the puja.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Very clear explanation finally of why this is done at the end of rituals. So with your permission, Nagaraji, shall I recite the whole of the
Yeah, please do
Mantrapushpam
that.
again?
Yeah. For the recapitulation of the whole thing for the viewers, they will be able to recapitulate the whole thing at a time.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I really like how you explained the refrain as well. And
Yeah.
there's like a beautiful chorus. I think if people are watching from the start, they could even join in the refrain.
Mhm.
So that's I will recite now the whole mantra pushpam. Om Yopam pushpam veda pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati chandrama va apam pushpam pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati ya evam veda योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो अग्निरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अग्निरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायुरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायुरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Namaste. Thank you so much, Shantala ji and Dr. Paturi. That was so amazing. And it's always, I just feel so honored to be able to partake in these sessions because I'm studying Veda recitation with Shantala ji. And, then you keep hearing these sounds, these beautiful mantras. And then when Dr. Paturi comes and elaborates on them, it just adds another whole layer of insight and meaning and depth to the recitation. And there's you can experience Veda on so many levels when you recite it, when you understand it, when you feel it. There's such a multi-layered approach to it. And then Dr. Paturi, you come in and give us this whole uh, added layer of how even outside of us the Veda applies to nature and ecology, and it's also beautifully interconnected. It just reminds us of how every single subatomic particle in this cosmos is connected, and it all comes together through this beautiful collection of Veda and our beautiful culture that has this amazing history, this living lineage that still happens in South India. It's just so amazing to listen to both of you, and it's also complementary and beautiful. So thank you so much for doing this with Indica, and I'm sure our viewers are going to completely enjoy watching this, whether or not they recite Veda. I'm sure some people will watch this and be inspired to recite and study Veda. So thank you so much. And we'll be back again next Monday on the 1st of April. And next Monday, we will be reciting and contemplating on the meaning of the Surya Namaskara. And that's going to be very interesting because so many people even practice the Surya Namaskara every day. So please join us again for another very, very amazing session. And we'll see all of you next week. Hari Om.